Mi papel en lo personal, hablando yo en lo personal.
A coach is starting to work with a kid at the age of 10. His or her job is encouragement, to keep up interest, to get kids more involved and inspired to learn, not just at trainings, but in school as well. In my experience, the greatest champions are not only strong in their bodies, but in their minds as well. At a big competition, one must make serious choices, and that takes brains and education.
Que estén bien en la escuela, los apoyamos académicamente para que mejoren.
The bottom line is strength of will. When I'm out searching and selecting children, the first thing they have to do is run 800 meters. Of course, they'll ask me, aren't we here to lift some weights? But at this point, you can already see how much power of will there is in a kid. Can anyone see beyond their present capabilities? Once you start at weightlifting, you'll understand a whole new meaning of being tired. You'll experience pain, and you'll need to love it. You have to learn to love being tired. You must also learn to love pain. Even at the easier periods of training, you have to go to bed with utter tiredness in your body. And when you wake up the next morning, you have to choose to get out of bed and go to training again. Now that takes strength of will.
Las ganas de hacer las cosas son las que te levantan cada mañana para ir al gimnasio.
La idea fue de mi hermano, él era pesista, yo antes era voleibolista.
It's a funny story actually. My brother used to be a weightlifter and I was playing volleyball for about 8 months and I liked it a lot. And then my coach fell ill. So there I was with a lot of time on my hands. My older brother told me to go to his training with him. He actually had to force me to go because I thought it was too masculine for a girl. But since I discovered I had some talent for it, I've been finding more and more beauty in it.
Ya vi que tenía las cualidades, ¿no? para ser pesista y me fue gustando y bueno, aquí estoy.
Yo en lo personal, primero, cuando seleccionamos a los niños,
a lot of coaches search for strong children, which is understandable since we try to teach them to pick up 200 kilos. But I also look for a sense of humbleness and people who seek to have goals. My way to help them is to point out heroes, role models of the attainable kind, setting up slightly older kids as examples. Look, here's this guy. He just turned 13. He traveled a lot, achieved this and that, met a lot of people, and so on. Kids need heroes. Heroes they can talk to and see every day, just slightly older than themselves. And so, they learn that it is possible. It's possible to win, to see the world, and just maybe get into a better school.
Siempre que hay un rol a seguir, yo siempre busco que el niño en mí vea un rol estudiando. A mí me gusta mucho la escuela, pero que vea en un compañero a quien seguir, a quien imitar, a un compañero que tenga buenas características, yo se los pongo de modelo.
Un poco la diversión. O sea,
of course, it takes a lot of discipline, like all sports. But kids want to play and have fun, and practicing weightlifting most certainly can be a lot of fun.
y no sé, empezarlos a divertir con el deporte, que lo vean divertido también, pues porque son niños y lo que quieren es jugar.
When we reach out to children, this must be the first part they get to know.
Pero que también se diviertan haciendo deportes, porque son niños y es lo que quieren hacer, divertirse.
Pues pienso que uno nunca sabe lo que va a tener ni lo que va a hacer.
My mom keeps asking me, how could I judge anything without really giving it a try first? I don't really know where I'm going with weightlifting. A lot of people keep asking me that. What I know is that I like it more and more with time, and that's all that matters. Sports can be an answer to many things. It provides everybody a healthier life. But even more importantly, it gives us all the chance of a more collected life and teaches you things nothing else will. My only advice to people who are new to weightlifting is to be fearless. At first, I was scared of these huge weights. Don't waste time worrying about that. Just go to the next gym.
Si te gusta, pues a seguirlo, ¿no?
Not everyone chooses this sport because they see a chance of a better life in weightlifting. Some of the best never really had a choice. This is Dmitry Klakov, second in line of a dynasty of weightlifters.
Почему про тяжелую атлетику начал я?
I started weightlifting because of my father, who happens to be a world champion. He became a world champion in 1983, just 3 months after I was born. He still claims that he could do it only because he was so emotional at the time of my arrival.
На самом деле, мой отец категорически был против.
Since he's a weightlifter himself, he was very much against me becoming one.
В принципе, в то время даже большие спортсмены, они
He knew what it meant to be a professional athlete back in the days of the Soviet Union.
вознаграждение за то, что они делали.
They didn't receive the kind of financial support that we do now.
Он, зная, что
So my dad wanted me to study,
особо ничего не зарабатывают в России, да?
to be good at
Хотел,
science.
чтобы я повторил его путь и хотел отдать меня в учебу. Знаете, как такового не было такого, что я вот хочу.
It wasn't just by chance that I became interested in weightlifting.
Да, и поэтому
I was born into it.
собой, как бы.
Everybody we knew back then, all the friends of my dad's were weightlifters. So I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Я точно помню.
I remember exactly the time it all began. It was on the 10th of December in 1995. Precisely 1 week before that, my dad and my soon-to-become coach had a big argument. They were sitting in our kitchen in our apartment at the time, arguing about what kind of future should I have. My coach tried to tell my dad that he had high hopes for me, but my father just kept on repeating that I'll become an academic or something. And then my coach said, if he sends me to Oxford or somewhere similar, I'll come back with a broken brain, like all the little rich kids who have been to places like that.
Знаете, изначально, когда я только начинал заниматься, то это было как...
At first, it was no fun at all. It was completely obligatory. My coach forced me to do more than I could think of. It was like hard labor. But just about 5 years later, it had become fun. I felt different about it. It was no hard work for me anymore, but recreation. It's like people going to the gym or to fitness clubs to look good. I also go to the gym, but I get to be paid for it.
Получать от этого удовольствие. Я же хожу в можно сказать, фитнес-клуб, получаю удовольствие, мне за это еще и деньги платят. Поэтому раньше это была работа, сейчас это уже развлечение. Ну, бросить-то хочется его пару раз в неделю. Вот, да, когда
There were a few injuries after which I wanted to quit.
Не то, что просто так.
Not just to take a break, but to quit for good.
Все, я хочу завязать со штангой уже. Вот, это было, как правило, из-за травм.
Немного все-таки данных должно быть.
There is the talent you are born with and the one you have to work hard for. I think it takes a little of both.
Олимпиец будет хороший.
Did you have a chance to take a look at that outdoor pool we have with the cold water? I'm very thankful for that pool. That's where Dimitri's strong character comes from. Ever since he was 11 years old, he woke up and went straight into that pool, first thing in the morning, every single day, in minus 20 or 30 degrees during the winter. I think it helped him to become a man of strong character.
У него сейчас возраст 30 лет, да, который, в принципе, он близок к завершению.
At first, I was against it. Look, my son is 30 years old now. His sports career will soon come to an end. Time just passes too fast. It's as if it was yesterday that Dimitri won his first junior gold medal. And here we are close to the end of his professional years. Of course, we support him. He is surrounded by a loving family. He has a child. They plan to have a second baby.
У него семья, ребенок, еще будет ребенок. Надеемся, долгая жизнь будет. И, естественно, так как мы уже достаточно...
So, we found it very important for their future that Dimitri received a good education in business to be able to support his family.
Переводи, тогда все. Очень много друзей из мира спорта, они убедили, и он оказался все-таки в спорте и на согласии. Во-первых, он молодец, потому что годы пролетели незаметно, и на сегодня...
We are extremely proud of him. Compared to other Russian lifters of his generation, he did more than could be expected of him. He always brings back a medal from every important competition. Gold, silver, or bronze. He had some terrible injuries that stopped him from finishing first from time to time. But he always brought us a medal. More importantly, his sports career made him a hard-working and bright man. And that is what his mother and I are the most proud of. I'm certain that the qualities he gained through his years as an athlete will help him during the future.
С большим интересом, что он нам еще после спорта преподнесет. Да. творчество, мне кажется.
What do we have in common? There are weightlifters who are true geniuses, like Zakarievich. Dmitry and I are the hard-working type.
Я считаю,
And tactics have also played a key role in both our careers.
время это гений.
The difference? I think it was somewhat harder for me being the first one,
Всего добились за счет трудолюбия.
and maybe a little easier for Dmitry because he was brought up in prepared conditions. Oh, and one more difference. Dmitry has an Olympic medal, and I don't have one. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
You have a beautiful little daughter. Would you ever send her into that pool?
No. Never.
My wife and I are trying to make sure that our family will achieve an Olympic gold.
Подстраховаться насчет олимпийских игр, олимпийского золота и все-таки, если мне не удастся...
So, in case I couldn't make it for some reason in 2016, we plan to have a son to finish the job.
Олимпийское золото, это из таких как бы глобальных, да, масштабов.
О, вы не могли бы поцеловаться?
While the Klokovs are working on their plans for the next generation, the real action has already started at the 2013 World Championships in Wrocław, Poland. Okay, hold your horses. Maybe it's about time to tell you what weightlifting really is. Mr. Sam Kofa of the IWF.
Well, we like to believe that weightlifting is the king of sports. That's what we like to believe, and we believe truly that it is one of the most exciting and very easy to understand sport. Very objective in the sense that we don't have any subjectivity about our sport. It either is lifted or it's not lifted. I mean, that's the basic thing. Whomever lifts a weight, unless there are certain rules, which of course the referees would know, but in generally speaking, the lift goes up, the lift is good, the lift doesn't go up, the lift is not good. And each lifter, each athlete is accorded 3 attempts, and the best attempt in the snatch, which is the first discipline, and the best clean and jerk, which is the second discipline, is computed, and that makes a total. The lifter or the athlete with the biggest total wins the championship. It's as simple as all that.
When you finally attend your first weightlifting contest, you will find a lot of elegant ladies and gentlemen in suits and ties. Who could they be?
Well, they're called officials. They are not elegant, but they are in uniform. You have the stage, you have the platform, you have 3 chairs, which are occupied by the center referees and 2 referees. And then on the right here, diagonally, you have the jury table, which normally composes of 5 jury members. If a lift is deemed to be not in accordance with the rules, and they give a red light which signifies that it's a bad lift, or alternatively a good lift. As soon as the majority of the three give a decision, then there is an audible signal that tells the athlete they can put the barbell down because the lift has been judged. If it's two white and a red, it means the lift has passed. If it's two reds and a white, it means it's not passed, or three reds and three whites accordingly.
Bien. Ready.
We have categories, and each category has got a body weight definition. Like this one that we just finished was 85. If you are 85.1, you cannot compete. Or you have to try and lose that 0.1%, whatever it is. Otherwise, you cannot compete in that category.
So let's try and explain the competition as simply as possible. Once you've successfully weighed in, you, or your coach to be exact, has to pledge the weight of your first lift for both the snatch and the clean and jerk. The names on the board will appear in the order of random numbers the competitors were given. Before the first lifter comes on stage, a clock will start to count back from 1 minute. That means that lifter A has to get on stage and start his exercise within the time. So it happens unless the coach or lifter does not decide to aim a little higher. Coach A will go to the marshal's table and registers the new weight. A clock will start again. But now it is lifter B who must start the mission in the amount of time given. In each type of lift, the athletes have 3 attempts to produce a good lift, of which the heaviest will be their result. So one can change the plans of the other athlete simply by registering a larger weight. Suppose both lifter A and C find that their limit on the day is exactly 165 kilograms. There is no tie in weightlifting. The winner will be the one who was weighed in lighter. Therefore, we can ensure better chances if we lose a little more weight before the contest. In the unlikely case of the 2 athletes weighing exactly the same, the one who lifted first will be the winner. In other words, you can never really be sure when and how much you will have to lift.
Now, what does that say? Yes, 176. He's going to have a go at the world record. 176. And I think it's the right thing to do if he's in the mood for it and he feels good to increase his own snatch world record.
They say football is a game played by 2 teams of 11 people and the Germans win. In weightlifting, in order to win first place, 90% of the time you must beat the Chinese. And it's damn hard to do.
I don't consider the members of the other federations my rivals. The only opponent I'm fighting against is the world record.
He's looking at bigger things, world records. He's guaranteed the gold medal overall though, and to break his own world senior record.
This is Liu Xiaojun. He's about to try to break the world record. But before we see if he can, let's go and check out how.
It is becoming harder and harder to break world records. After each attempt, the body takes more time to recover, and it becomes less possible to develop the body further on, after it has reached a result that might be the very limit of the human body as we know it. So we focus on technical changes. That is where the secret of a new record may lie.
It's pure coincidence. I was often sick as a child. I have no idea where I heard it first that weightlifting helped to keep you in shape. That was the main reason I started. At the beginning, I did a lot of running and athletic training to become stronger and healthier. It was completely by chance that a weightlifting coach has seen me at training. I thought I had some talent. He told me I should try it. At this point of my life, I don't feel that I make a lot more sacrifice than my friends at the same age. I think I have just about enough time to spend with my closest friends. My career has not changed my relationship with them.
The biggest change in my life related to weightlifting is that I became kind of famous. In my hometown, at least. More people recognize me when I'm home than before. Another important change is that I completely lost my time to study. I spent every day with my coaches and fellow athletes. At the end of the day, I'm simply too tired to do anything, let alone study. I think that my friends out of the world of weightlifting have way more time to study. I'm afraid they have a chance for far better results in their education than myself. I'm not too worried about it. I chose to suspend my education, but I'm still young. I think I will have plenty of time to catch up later. For me, the real sacrifice is regarding my parents. Since I became a full-time athlete in the national team, I spent little or no time with them. This is a part of my life that is completely missing.
遗憾的是什么？就是没有太多的时间陪自己的家人。在国内的话，都是有机会。
My parents have the opportunity to join me at competitions and see me live every now and then, but they choose not to. They are afraid that had I known about their presence, I'd become too nervous and might lose focus and concentration, and that could ruin my performance. So they just watch me on TV when they can.
看我的比赛。
应该说啊，我们这个数字你也无法有个精确的统计，因为
It is really hard for me to give you a correct number because it changes all the time.
运动员来讲的话，也就是成万的运动员。
But I'm sure that the number of registered lifters in our federation must be over 10,000.
县级啊、地市级，那些是没法统计，因为我们没让他们注册。
It is a serious issue we need to work on and currently try to find a solution for. It is our responsibility to focus on the future of our athletes after their retirement as professional weightlifters, since during their years as full-time athletes, they have very little time to study. This has been a problem since China participated in the Olympics for the first time long ago. Our athletes brought home gold medals, but had trouble finding a decent job when they got home. So our Ministry of Sports has decided to deal with the problem. For example, nowadays, in order to join the national team, you have to pass certain tests. We don't only examine one's results in sports, but their level of education as well. This has become a new criteria. After all, only a few people can become champions of some sort out of the many who aim to. Therefore, we must educate them all to at least the most basic skills level, so that they will be able to find a job and take care of themselves in the future.
Just like the country itself, the Chinese Weightlifting Federation, with its circa 10,000 members, is enormous. To emerge from such a competition, to represent the world's biggest nation, is even a bigger task. However, the Chinese doctrine is simple. It's practice, 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 and nothing else. Now let's go back to Poland and see how it works out.
Like we ever doubted him.
Have a look at this. He had the snatch world record, he had the total world record, he's improved both of those. He's been the master of men's 77 kilos, and the gold goes to China.
When the weightlifter comes to the stage and you see that grab the bar, it would be very interesting to see what is in his or her head, how he concentrates, and after when he started to realize the attempt and finish the attempt, and maybe he could even lift more, some kilos more, But if he doesn't concentrate in the last second so perfectly, he cannot realize and cannot finish the attempt. The weightlifting changed very much in the last 35 years. We have 190 member countries, but basically we are dealing with more than 200 countries. Now, after the London Olympic Games, coming up a new generation. Each member country is looking for the new talented boys and girls who can participate on the occasion of the 2016 Rio Olympic Games.
This is what it looks like when you're at the top. Now let's take a look a few thousand kilometers further south, where the environment might be a little less high-tech. But they take the game just as seriously.
Yes, we are always together, and we live together as a group, and we are so friends, and we are always abroad together, and we must stay near our athletes, our friends in competition, to help them, like a family.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
Hi! Where are you from?
Tunis.
Tunis. And what are you doing?
In competition, I will be a coach, a real coach, to motivate our athletes to do their best. But now we are friends, we are family, we are always together, every day.
C'est un sport comme tous les autres, je pense.
It's a sport like all the others, like football, for instance. A lot of girls play football. I happen to be a weightlifter who, by the way, is a woman. It's as simple as that. My mother can only encourage me. At the beginning, she was worried, but this is what I love doing and I wish to continue. It's what I do. Should I have a daughter, I will support her in case she decides to do this too. But one thing is certain, that child will do sport. It always takes a lot of work to get ahead. What we have achieved in this competition is the result of many months of hard work we have put in the preparation. Our goal was a new record. That's why I went for these weights today. No doubt I never expected this result. It was an absolute surprise. I thought maybe 97 for the snatch and about 115 for the clean and jerk. But weightlifting is a surprise. It's like an unexpected explosion. This is why I love it. This is why we all love it.
Now with 167.5 kilos on the bar, if he lifts it, he continues on in the competition. If not, he's done.
Unfortunately, my elbow split on the 20th of August, 1981. At a snatch of 170 kilos, my elbow gave up. I wanted to keep on lifting, but doctors told me I should be happy if I can grip anything with that arm.
Wow! Did you see that move? Unbelievable.
Will I go to Iran? I was a little scared, but I said, okay, we'll see. Weightlifting is weightlifting. It's all I've been doing for the past 48 years, so I packed my bag, said goodbye to the missus, and I've been working in Iran since. There's one stage, one man, and there's one barbell. If you're prepared, you can win against the weight. If you're not, it's going to hit you so hard on the head that you will fall and may never get up. Why would a kid start weightlifting? Why did I start? I always answer, it's an amazing thing to overcome the impossible, because that's what it's all about. Any guy walking down the street in his 20s or 30s might pick up 70, 80 kilos. Starting from that and train to be able to lift 150, 160, God forbid 250. It's truly what you can call the impossible. I'm actually afraid I'll never be able to stop. My family said they had enough of me working far away. I have a grandchild, 2 sons, a wife. I feel I could use a little rest, but after some time off, I'm just going to try and find me a gym and look for a job in weightlifting again. It's the sport of fanatics. It's for guys like this, you know? Fanatics who decide I'll go and break records, and for that I'm ready to train 3 or 4 times a day. It's the toughest sport of them all. I know.
So why is weightlifting special? Is it special at all? Being probably the most simple sport in the world. Are the people in the world of weightlifting special? Of course they are. Each and every single one of them. Because they're all different. You can be tall, short, big, small, girl or boy, rich, poor, Chinese or Mexican. But you can be sure of one thing. You will fit in. Weightlifting will accept you just as you are. It will only ask for your passion and your hard work.